Welcome back everybody to another episode of the Lone Wolf Survival Series. Today's episode is going to be a spectacular one. Listen, I know you're happy you got out of that barrel, so try not to get stuck back in there with the fish. In today's episode, we are going to get a lot of stuff done. I have a huge bucket list, a huge list that, not really a bucket list, but like a huge work list that we got to do today. So if today's video may be a little bit longer, it may or may not be, I don't know. I have just literally started recording. So one of the things that we got to do, I think I spoke about it at the end of the last video, is we got to hook up that to the generator, and then we got to hook up the elevator to the generator, which is, we also got to install that panel I was talking about last episode, the control panel, and then we also got to do something with the lighting off over here in this vicinity, although I don't think these are spawnable blocks, so we might be okay. But I still want to add like a corner light over here, over there, maybe back over there in those two directions. Oh, I haven't showed this off, I don't think. Have I? I don't think I actually pointed this out in the last episode, but I did decoration in here. Yes, it's not much of anything really. I mean, we got like a little armor stand and whatnot, but it is decorated. This room is not. Okay, so this is about how we're going to have this set up. We're going to have fuel tank number 1, fuel tank number 2. This is to tell us which one is currently selected. Engine running, which is the engine over there running. Is the circuit breaker closed, which means the switchboard that's directly underneath us, is the breaker closed to power our selector panel up here, and then that's our overload condition light. Okay, so this is going to be the gist of how this is going to look. Alright, after some excruciating head scratching later, and I've got a bald spot going on, I've got this all figured out. I hope whenever you guys downloaded this world for episode 5th... Oh no, how did you get out of there? No. There's no way you got in here. Alright, well I'm just going to trap him right there because at the moment he seems to be kind of stuck. And I don't know how to get him out of there. So anyways, back to what I was saying. I hope whenever you guys downloaded the world that you came underneath here and checked this whole mess out. I mean, I've added to it. I've added 4 separate lines to it, but still, nonetheless, it's still crazy back here. But yeah, we've got the one for the overload, which is connected straight over there, and then we have the one that tells me that if the circuit breaker is closed, which is right into here. It's kind of like an inverted all the way up there, but you can see it's powered. And then this right here is the fuel selector for one of the tanks, and this right here is the fuel selector for the other tank, which at the moment this tank right here is. And yeah, so it's getting wide. I had to really cram some of this in here. As a matter of fact, like right over here, it got really sketchy at one point. Yeah, it got really wild. Oh, now I can't get out. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, so to hook this elevator up, this is how I'm going to do this. So basically what I'm going to do, the button to start the elevator is actually right here on this block. And what happens is this pulls this observer back, and that's what fires the elevator up. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we got the elevator wired in. That's the elevator. So right now I think the elevator, oh no, the elevator's down here. Okay, yes. Okay, so if I do this, that's going to do nothing. All right, then now we just need to head up top. Okay, so I know I'm bringing you guys in on a lot of the back of what's going on back here, and the reason for that is so that way you have a decent idea of how this stuff is working, which is a feat in all of itself because I'm starting to get confused on how some of this stuff is working. But basically, okay, yes, so 3 things are active, so there should be 3 things inside this chopper. Now what this chopper is doing for people that are new, what this dropper is doing is this is detecting how many things that we have plugged in, how many circuits are active, feeding power through the different the all the different pieces of equipment. So right now we got lights, we've got the elevator, and there's something else being powered, and I forget what it is. Alright, it's the next day for me. I had a good little sleepus, went to the gym, and made a really extremely long redstone line that extends from one half of the planet to the other. Basically what this is going to, sometimes I crack myself up. This is going to the mob spawner, or the XP farm, however you want to put that, all the way over there. And all of it's doing really is just turning the lights on and off. It's a really long redstone line to turn a lamp on and off. It's honestly what it's doing. Did you know this was a thing? Yeah, I did not know you could do that. And it scared the crap out of me a second ago. Alright, so I did a little bit of cleanup down here so you can kind of see more of the mess that is going on. I put some scaffolding blocks in some key places that allow me to get to key parts of the circuits in case I ever need to do something with them, like right here. This is kind of like an important piece to get to. This right here is a real important piece to get to because this part right here tells me, yeah, that there's 4 things active, and I think there is 4 things being active right now. I just had an idea here. I keep adding to this list of stuff that I want, and it just kind of hit me, and I don't know why I haven't thought of it, or maybe I did think of it before. So we have our mimic panel here. I can't do anything on this wall, so I may have to pull this out just a little bit or have something like that, or maybe extend this panel over a little bit more. But I want to have the ability to remote start the engine, as in do everything from up here. I don't know if I can do that though, because I think right on the other side of this wall is the elevator shaft. The only thing I can think to do, I actually really want to do that. That is something I really want to do. And I think the only way that I could really make that happen, I don't know, I might be able to get away with it. I mean, because what do we have to add? The main thing we have to add is basically that lever down there, or something that'll actually start the engine. So let's say that could be this block. Okay, something to actually close the breaker on it if we need to. That could be this block. Oh, that's really about it, right? We might be able to pull that. We might be able to pull that off. Alright, so a little bit more progress has been made. We moved this to right over here. Now we have the remote section. This right here is going to be all the remote operations to the engine here. So we got number 1 fuel tank, number 2 fuel tank, a line field to the engine, which is that main control that sits. Yeah, I blocked the doofus in there so he doesn't move. Which is the main control that sits inside the fuel selection room, the fuel control room, to start the engine, and then to close the actual generator breaker, which is somewhere right here underneath me. And then of course this is still the same warning: overload, breaker closed, engines running, fuel selection, and fuel selection. But now what I have to do is I have to do the painstaking task of actually wiring in all of that stuff. This right here was kind of it was a challenge, to say the least, to maneuver, but I think this right here, moving this on this side, is going to be a lot better. And then right here on this side, we can actually make a room for the chief engineer, which I would probably going to be one of the last things that we do for that situation. But yeah, the next thing we got to do is we got to do this. You know, I understand why now, like, a lot of redstone people tend to forget on how the redstone builds work, because sometimes when I'm running around here, I really forget how all this stuff comes together. It's starting to get really confusing and Yeah, it's pretty wild. Right now I'm trying to figure out exactly how the engine right here actually starts, because this is just a fuel line right here. Gosh darn it. This is just a fuel line right here. All this right here is fuel related stuff. So the only thing that I think that actually turns the engine on, that starts it, is the lever that's right up top. Alright, so a lot of modifications have been done. Oh, I forget this wall is here. We've got this room all situated, all labeled out. All the redstone has been laid out in the back here. It's you know, the more and more I add in here, the more and more of the spaghetti circuit board is starting to come in here. And I've also had to come back through and try to remember exactly how everything worked, because that was also another issue. I think I keep saying that every time I come back into the video, but it's true. I had some stuff going over there and had some stuff coming back over here. Actually, that line right there needs to be taken out because it doesn't actually do anything. I don't know why it was there, and yeah, and I tested it just to make sure everything still worked after my modification, so everything's still good. The only thing I haven't tested is this stuff right here. So basically what I'm fixing to do is, number one, fuel tank is selected, and that's the one that's running right now, as indicated right there. Number one, fuel tank is selected, and if we just go like that, everything should start to shut down, right? Okay, there it went. Okay, so the engine just shut off, and that also means, yes, this should have also shut off. Okay, cool. And let's just bring this back. I think I have to do one more modification, I think. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I don't. Okay, cool. And if I flip that back on, then everything should be good to go, right? Yes. Okay, the fuel just got redispensed back into everything here. Okay, so that system works. Alright, so right now we're testing out number 2. We've been running on number 1 fuel tank, but I made the modifications to number 2 that I made for number 1 a while back, just to do a little bit more fuel saving. And if I am correct in assuming that everything right here went to plan, that this, yep, okay, that's the one that dispenses, and that's okay. So that works for turning it on. What about turning it off? You know what I kind of just realized? There's no point to this being up here, because this is basically saying everything that this is saying. Should I move that down here? Because then I would know. Oh crap. But yeah, anyways, that's probably gonna be a task I try to figure out in between episodes. Everyone, we got a lot of stuff done. Like, dude, this is taking me about 2 days to get all this stuff done. Luckily for me, I already had one episode recorded, so that actually worked out pretty well. If you guys did enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you really loved it and want to keep me motivated to make more of these, please click subscribe. But it's all I have time for you guys today, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. But before I go, take a look at this mess right here. It's just crazy of all what's going on back here. It's pretty wild when you really think about it.